just recorded the whole video that then I saw that my net band was not connected, so the audio was really low. So I'm recording it again. So but I wanted to say that I did not record anything yesterday because I had my project and it took a lot of time. The deadline was midnight and I submitted it at around 11:50, I guess. So then I just slept and didn't even read my book. And then in the morning I woke up late at around 8 a.m. and then I went to the gym and because I was not going to the gym for around 2-3 days, so I was quite tired. So I was just laying on the sofa. Then then finally I decided to read my book and I want to talk about what I read just now. In most of the classics, the people there in the characters are so formal all the time, even if they are in some kind of conflict. They are not upfront about it, about the feelings they have. They are always so their response is so anticlimactic, I guess. There is not much of confrontation in the classics, but in this scene, and mostly the ladies, mostly don't speak their mind of fight and pass comments and tell the men to get out. So in this scene, everyone was so savage, and they just went off on him. The lady, her mother, her brother's friend, everyone was so upfront about it and about how they felt. It was so satisfying because the other character who they were fighting with, who they were fighting with was really annoying. So it was so satisfying to see them just put him in his place. He was not able to believe it. What he was listening, what he was hearing. It was really good. I mean, the crime punishment doesn't seem like it is an old book set in the 1800s. Because everywhere, all the comments are so sarcastic, they are intelligent, and it almost seems so modern in the way people talk to each other, people think, in the way people make comments about what they are feeling or seeing or about other people. This classic is really different, and I really want this. I normally don't feel while reading a book that I want to read from this author more, but reading Crime and Punishment is making me feel like I want to read from him more. Like there's another book of his called The Idiot, and I have heard a lot of good things about it too, so I think I will be checking out more of his books now. It is, in short, it is a great book and I'm enjoying it a lot. Also, I was reading another chapter of Crime and Punishment and I couldn't help but think, and I wanted to share what I read. It was one of the characters is a textbook example of narcissistic person. So he thinks that he wanted to particularly marry a girl who was Kai, who has had a lot of misfortunes in her life, because he really admired himself. He used to admire his face and all the things and all the hard work he has done and earned the money he had. So he wanted to particularly marry a girl, and he used to dream about it, to imagine a lot of scenes, the fake scenarios we all have, that he will marry a poor impoverished girl, and she would be so grateful to him for just uh, considering her to be his bride, that she will forever be in his debt and she will always be in awe of him, and he will be doing a kind of favor, a good deed to her, and he will have the absolute power over her. And the and she will also have to be a beautiful and educated girl, and she has to have some great manners, so it will ultimately improve and make himself look good in a kind of way, make some kind of aura around him. And the girl he chose was the girl I was talking about earlier. and she was and he actually believed that he was doing a good deed in marrying her, and he was so shocked that when things didn't go in the way he wanted to, and he was so shocked that how can she be not grateful to me, and I didn't even do a lot, I didn't even say so many awful things, that all I had, I didn't even say all what I wanted to say to her, I just uh, commented a few things and did a small bullying. And how can she be not grateful to me, and how can she stand up for herself? She should have been in his power, because poor and she was so poor and had so many misfortunes in his life. She should have been grateful to him that he even thought her worthy of marrying. And this reading actually, it made me think that this is the real case for a lot of women today also, and it had been in earlier times, that a lot of rights that were not given to women, because and the education that was not allowed to be given to the women, uh, because and the power dynamic played a great role in that, because if someone was not educated, they were not independent, then the other person who was the sole provider, as they call it, they had the power over them, then and the women were at their mercy. So, and nowadays a lot of people, a lot of men also complain about women being so independent, that they say that today's women think that they are so independent that they don't even need men, and they kind of set very high standards for men. But the thing is that now, earlier men were the sole providers, so the women were dependent on them. And now, when women are self-sufficient, they don't need a man to exist or to survive, so they actually see past the basic necessities of life, and they see how that person is, and how his nature is, how his personality is, how good of a human being he is, and whether their values match or not. So um, uh, that has changed now, and maybe a lot of people didn't want women to have so much freedom because of this, because they would not then have power over them. So this was quite interesting to read in a classic novel, and that too written by a man. It was kind of surprising, astonishing for me to read that, but uh, great too. So that there were men earlier in earlier time too, that they were so aware of these things, these issues, and how the nature and mind of people work in that time. Yeah, this was all I wanted to share. Oh, the weather is so pretty. I remember a song we used to sing in childhood. ठंडी हवा गुनगुनाए, पंछी भी गीत सुनाए, खेत में लहराए, सबके मन को सुख पहुँचाए. Oh no, the nests are in danger. Oh, I hope they don't fall out. Some of them have already fallen. So it's raining a bit, and we got caught. I mean, my mom and I got caught in it. But we have already bought soup for takeout. So when we reached, I drank, ate. What do you do with soup? Whatever I consumed my soup, and it was lovely. Some things just get better when they are in combination, like rains and soups. Now I have to study because the project I was talking about, which I submitted yesterday, the main problem was my concept of class and objects, calling objects and calling functions is not clear. So that's why I wasn't able to do my assignment, my project properly. So now I have to study that. Hopefully, I will understand it now. I wasn't even able to understand it in my school and in my college too. And again, I tried when it was in our module, this online courses module, but then it wasn't. Then also, I wasn't able to understand it, but I will try one more time. Let's see. I was studying, and then I took a break and went on YouTube, and I stumbled upon a video of a girl. She was talking about how her boyfriend passed away. Uh, I don't know why these topics make me feel so overwhelmed. And I called my friend and he wasn't available, so I didn't know how else to process this. I thought of recording. It somehow makes me feel like I'm talking to someone or just getting it out of me. If it isn't, even if it isn't reaching someone else, it is getting out of me. I I'm actually so scared of the uh, this feeling of losing someone permanently. I mean, you can't do anything about it. It is so permanent. Uh, I So I was not able to come to my room for a few days, and look what happened. My small dear plant, I think it's dead. I don't know if I will be able to recover it.